Hello and welcome to week 6 of our quarter. We are now transitioning into a completely different unit, and I had talked to a lot of you about this in our last Zoom meeting. If you weren't in our Zoom meeting and you didn't have time to watch the recording that I posted, we are done with short stories. We did 5 weeks of short stories, you took a midterm on them, and now it's time for us to keep moving forward. We talked very briefly last week about the novel that we're going to start reading. We are going to be reading a novel called Night. It's a memoir written by a Holocaust survivor, and it's going to take us through the remainder of the quarter. So we only have 4 weeks left, and reading this book is going to take us about 3, and with final weeks we'll be totally complete. So I wanted to make this video for you and explain how the unit is going to go, and explain how Schoology is going to look a little different. So here's our Schoology page. This is what you've been used to for 5 weeks, right? Each week is separated into its own folder. However, moving forward, we're going to be reading Night the entire time. And we have a couple assignments that we're going to be working on for 3 weeks before you ever submit it. So what's different now is that you'll see right here is the Night unit, weeks 6 through 9. So everything is going to be in this Night folder from here on out. And you'll see why here. Because our assignments for the novel are ongoing, the remainder of our quarter will be found in this folder. If you click on the folder and it drops down, you'll see that there's still a week 6 folder that looks very similar to these. You'll drop it down, you'll see our calendar, you'll find our 2 Zoom links here, and you'll find the smaller assignments that we do throughout the week. Right in here, just as you would have beforehand. The difference with the Night unit is that because we're reading a book, there are a couple ongoing projects that will be turned in after our 3 weeks of reading. So you'll see here it says ongoing Night assignments due October 4th. October 4th is 4 Sundays from tonight. I'm recording this on the 13th. So you'll be turning it in after 3 full weeks. And so I want to take a second to explain them to you a little bit, just to get you prepped. We're going to talk about these in Zoom, of course. This is just your introduction. Your assignment for Monday is to get comfortable with how this looks. Okay, so your first ongoing assignment that you're going to see here is called My Digital Notebook. If you click on it, you'll see, again up here, it's due on the 4th, and you'll be working on this for the remainder of the quarter. Because it's due October 4th, that's when you're going to turn it in. You won't turn it in at any other point. However, I will be checking your progress on Schoology. So if you see it, you don't see this on your side of the screen, but this is how I see it. Once I click in progress, of course nobody's opened it yet, but once Eliseo opens his assignment, I'll be able to see it right here live as he's typing on it. He's not going to submit it until the 4th, but I will be able to check after each week to make sure that he's keeping up with our assignments. So as Eliseo and all the rest of you work through these assignments, I will be checking them periodically. And you can find those due dates, those progress checks, right here. So there will be 3 separate progress checks. September 20th, which will be this coming Sunday for you guys, is when week 1 activities are going to be done. Then, starting the next week, you're going to move on to week 2 activities, and they'll be due on Sunday. And then finally, at the very end when you submit it, I'll be checking week 3. So let me show you what the notebook looks like, so this section here makes a little bit more sense. This is what your digital notebook is going to look like. All of you are going to have a copy of these slides, and this is taking the place of us in class having a regular notebook. So it's a place for you to keep all of your thoughts and ideas through the whole book, which is why you're going to turn it in once at the very end. So the second page is notebook instructions. The first one says click here for video instructions. Miss Shembri is another 10th grade teacher who's teaching Night as well right now, and she took the time to explain the notebook instructions further and how each page is going to work. Let's see. So here, number 4, at the end of the week, I will be checking your progress, just like I said. So week 1 is all of the yellow highlighted activities. Week 2 will be blue, and week 3 will be pink. So I'll just show you really quick. One of the activities that you're going to do every week is write a journal. So if you can see right over here on the left-hand side, journal number 1 is yellow, journal 2 is blue, and journal 3 is pink. And that correlates with when they're due. Okay, so you're going to go through, get comfortable with the notebook assignments by watching the video that Miss Shembry posted here. Okay, going back to the very beginning of our Schoology page, again under the ongoing assignments, we just talked about the digital notebook, and you will also have this night timeline project that you'll be doing. So again, you'll be working on this throughout the next 3 weeks. It will be due on October 4th. This is your second ongoing project. There are a bunch of instructions here. This is what our book looks like. There will be an explanation and directions and instructions to your timeline. But basically, as we read the book, you're going to pull out 15 events. This is a historical novel or memoir. The Holocaust was very much real, and there's a lot of big events that happen throughout. So your job is to find 15 events, write a sentence, and make an illustration. We can talk about this more as we go forward, but please look at this on your own. Okay, and the very last thing for this night unit is, I touched on this last week, we are reading a book and we are in distance learning. So here's what I told everyone about your options for accessing the book. If you go back to our notebook, you'll see that the third page past the cover, you'll see the reading calendar. So week 6, we will be reading chapters 1 through 3, and this should say 7. Okay, so we will be reading chapters 1 through 3. Here are your options. You can click right here and find the PDF. You can click any of these and listen to the book on audio. We found all of the YouTube chapters and linked them for you. Or your final offer is to come to school, come to Granite with your ID number and your mask, your ID card and your mask, and you can go to the library any day of the week between 8 a.m. and noon, and you can check out your own copy of the book. So again, 3 options. You can click the PDF here, you can listen to the audiobooks, or you can go to school Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 this week, and check out the book night with your ID card. So those are the basics for our unit moving forward. A quick explanation about how every week is going to be in the same one. We talked about our ongoing night assignments and how week 6 will be exactly the same. So after watching this YouTube video, you'll find under week 6 assignments a Google form that I'd like you to fill out. It's just a couple questions, making sure that you understand the due dates, you understand the folder and the assignments, so that I know what to touch on with you guys again when we're in Zoom.